Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and you are watching Untethered Live, and this is a chill stream on Friday night. How are you doing? It's Passover. Sun just went down, and now we're thinking about our Lord Jesus Christ and the fact that he did not kill everybody. It's wonderful. Kind of weird, but wonderful. How are you doing? I don't have any crackers or cookies or children to do it with, so, you know. We're not going to do that tonight, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. And then we'll move on to greener pastures, because that's how it rolls. How is everybody? News Now, Carolina. Caucasian Sasquatch. Good to see you, my friends. First on the line. Can't beat that. See, you're doing excellent. And the bitter butter batter made the baby's booty fatter. These nuts. News Now, how's tricks? Silly faggot, tricks are for kids. It's a lovely afternoon. I went riding on my motorcycle today. My car's broke down, obviously. But I got to ride on my bike, and it was a lovely time to do it. Nice and sunny, not too cool. Not too windy, not a lot of traffic. Just out cruising along. Went to see my sister, went to see my son. Had a good afternoon. My voice is gone, so there'll be no singing tonight. But other than that, I can talk. And due to the steroids I'm taking, my hair looks fabulous. Look at this body. You can't really tell because I got headphones on, but it's just poofing out everywhere. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. It's like I'm using new shampoo or something. Now, I know that's not true because I wash my hair twice a year, whether it needs it or not. I made a new friend this week. His name is Michael Zwick, and he runs a podcast on YouTube called If Not God. And it's a very nice, very Christian podcast, very churchy. They get into things I don't get into, but they do a good job. Talk a lot about Israel and that sort of thing. Check them out if you get a chance. That's If Not God, Mike Zwick, Z-W-I-C-K, Michael Zwick. Check him out. And he's also on Facebook and all that stuff. But we're going to be making friends. He's got a radio station, and we'll see what happens. They invited me to go to some kind of potluck dinner this weekend, but it was 2.5 hours away, and I couldn't get to it. He's in Boone, North Carolina. But I would have went had I had a way to go, but I didn't, so I missed out on that opportunity, but there's others. So if you happen to see the guy, show him some love and be nice, and maybe we can be friends. See what happens. Caucasian, how's your channel going? I hadn't talked to you in a couple weeks about it. Just thought I'd ask. See how things are going. I saw that you did something last night, but I was very tired and didn't watch it. Kevin Cox, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Where's my April at this afternoon? Are y'all staying out of trouble? That's a good thing to do. I went motorcycle riding this afternoon, so I had a good time. I'm going to do it tomorrow, too. It's happening. Last night was a season 2 finale of your show. Cool. I just decided not to do seasons. I'm just going to go until I run out of steam and then take a break and then come back. News Now, how's your week going, buddy? supposed to get with you last weekend and just couldn't do it. I was sick as hell, so I had to stay home and rest. But I missed you. I was thinking about you anyway. I am working on your song. Just about got that worked out. Had to pick the hardest song known to man, but we got it. It's coming together. That's always lovely to hear. Nice to know it's going fucking great. Where are y'all getting ready to go, Kev? Gonna go down and eat some gators? I've just been kind of chilling. I thought about going out and getting something to eat, but I ain't real hungry, so probably just stay around the house tonight and work on my pedal board. Patricia says, hello. Hello, Patricia. Welcome to the show, even if it's in from the side. I really enjoyed that salad you made me the other week. I can't remember if I returned your container or not, but if I didn't, I will. Oh, you're going to do Mexican tonight? That's good. I had Mexican a couple nights ago. I like that taco salad. That's my favorite. It's got everything, and it's edible by dipping chips. You don't even need a fork. And then when you're done, you can eat the bowl, so you don't even have to do dishes. I like it. Mexicans are thinking. How are you doing, Patricia? Are you taking care of my mango? He needs it. It was interesting, though, because it was a chicken salad, but I detected shrimp. You tricked me. Tricked me right into it. I don't eat shellfish, but I ate that. That was good. Today I had a barbecue sandwich at lunch and a half a bag of Cheetos for dinner. That's how I keep my girlish figure. And smoke a lot of cigarettes. Get that sexy, deep voice. It's going so deep now I can't even use it anymore. The drugs are helping. I have far more lucid moments of speech. But when the voice goes, it goes. And I can't talk. Like this afternoon when I was talking to my son, I couldn't even speak. I was just whispering. But it came back after an hour or so of rest, and it may go away again before the night's out. But it's lasting longer and longer that I have actual voice. So the drugs are working. They're just working slowly. We'll see. Maybe it'll heal up. I think I've got nodules on my vocal cords. That's my diagnosis. I don't know what the real problem is, but that's what I think. Probably from 100 years of singing all night long, screaming at the top of my lungs and probably not doing it right. Whatever. Can't keep that up forever, I guess. And my sister says, Jake, if you know it's hurting you, why do you keep smoking? I said, because my mama didn't raise no quitter. Who you think you're dealing with? Figures I might take a week to make a stupid number of shorts. Do a bunch of Odin C's. Schedule out a couple of months of shorts. That might be a good idea. I'm getting ready to do some shorts, too. Tell me what you think of this idea. I'm thinking about doing definitions, single word definitions of the hard words that are in the Bible, words that aren't used anymore, and words that are from other languages that people might not understand, and just do like one word and the definition, 30 seconds, and just do a bunch of shorts of those. You think that would be redundant, or do you think it'd be interesting? I have mixed feelings about it. I like it, but I don't like the fact that it's only one word. Hey there, there's my wrench. I'm beginning to wonder about that. It's a lot of responsibility you're carrying there at the end of your name. You hold the power in your hands. But hello and welcome. Anyway, what do you think about that idea? Are you ready, April? She's female, and I'm going to wager no, not ready. Probably has to do something with her hair. What do you think of an all-male supergroup, country supergroup called the Chixie Dicks? I think it's a little ironic. And unless they're going to tell Natalie Portman to screw off, it's probably not worth it. Did you just brush me off? You have Sasquatch, Jake. Huh. Yes, I do. But I have April, too. Woohoo. I think you're on to something. Well, thank you. At least somebody answered me. See? Yes, you're right. Sounds like my hair needs brushing. And my teeth. Told you she wasn't ready. I know these things. I'm psychic. I can see right through the internet. I know what kind of panties you're wearing. I got a little button right here that tells me all that stuff. Anyway, should be an interesting weekend. I got a show Saturday. Trying to get News Now to come hang with me. I didn't hear that, Jake. Blah, la, 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 la. No, I'm not wearing any panties. Red with a little black strip around the edge. I'm wearing panties. They say go dogs on the back. How did you know? I'm not wearing any panties. The joke's on you. There's a joke in that. I can't remember what it was. Something about a condom, but I can't remember. The guy says the joke's on you. I'm not wearing one. Something like that. I can't remember the joke. I screw it up anyway if I did know it. Very manly panties. That's right. We got them Steven Crowder panties. Ranger panties. Weird. Peacock. So you guys know that today is Passover. Just letting you know. Started at sundown. This is the day after the spring equinox, which occurred on the 14th. This is not to be confused with Easter or Ishtar or Estora, which is German, which is the same thing, German goddess. You wear a Q string? I don't want to know what that is. I can guess, though. I like camouflage condoms. They work exactly like regular condoms, only you can't see me coming. You wanted to balance eggs. Well, if you want to worship a false god, you go right ahead. I'm not into the Ishtar or the Historia. Either way, I am into Passover. And if typically I would do Passover at my house, I would host it. But all the kids are gone in different directions, and there's really no mama here and none of that, no friends hanging around. So there's no point in me doing it for myself. God knows I'm there. I'm just asking you to show a little respect for your father tonight, however you see fit to do so. Just remember, there's a reason you're not dead. That's all. You're welcome, April. it's in the Bible that for Passover, Jews ate matzo ball soup, had enchiladas for dinner, and downed margaritas. I'm pretty sure that's not in the Bible, but I like where your head's at. I've never had matzo ball soup. I don't even know what that is. Sounds like something you eat off the grill of a small German car, though. Anyway, in a little while, I'm going to read a little excerpt or two about Easter and Ishtar and the different origins of such, and then we'll talk a little bit about Passover. If you don't mind, bear with me on doing it. It won't take long, and that'll be that. That's what we're doing for Passover. I will be here on Sunday, which is Easter, but it's just going to be a normal day. I'm not going to do anything special because I don't celebrate pagan holidays. However, I would like to show a little respect and just be in the moment. So y'all can hang or not, whatever. It's in the 4th book, the chapter of the book of Diego. Okay. I hadn't seen Diego in a while. I think he's mad at me for something. I did, but didn't. It's always in different days and dates, isn't it? No. Passover always occurs 14 days after the spring equinox, which usually occurs on April 1st. April, or the month of Nisan, which in the Bible would be the first month, starts in April. Okay? So April, and because of daylight savings time and the fact that we use a Gregorian calendar and not the original calendar, or even the Julius Caesar calendar, dates have been pushed around one way or the other, so it's not always on April 1st, but it's always wherever the spring equinox lands. That's the time of the longest time of the day. The sun's up the longest. I think that's what it is, or maybe it's the shortest. I can't remember. Anyway, whenever, and they put it on the calendar so you can find the spring equinox. Then you count 14 days, which is usually around April 14th, April 15th. Today, this month, it's on the 15th. And at sundown that day begins 3 days of Passover. The first day is Passover. The second day is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And the third day is Shabbat. So there you go. Or vice versa. Shabbat's Saturday. So however it falls. But it's always 14 days past the spring equinox. So wherever spring equinox lands, that's when you begin your count. 14 days at sundown on the 14th day. And like I said, this month it lands on the 15th, but last year it might have landed on the 14th, you know. I don't remember now. But there are a couple of reasons, and I had a friend of mine, I invited some friends one year to Passover, and they looked at me like I was crazy because I'm not Jewish. Well, it's not just for Jews. It's not a Jewish holiday. It's a holiday to commemorate what happened in Egypt when the Jews, or the Hebrews rather, were taken out of Egypt and the calamity that occurred thereafter. And Jesus said, and Jesus being a type for the Passover, kind of an allegory, it's the same kind of thing that occurred. Jesus said, do this in remembrance of me, and he was not talking to anybody in particular. He just said, do it. Therefore, we do it in remembrance of him, and that's what it's about, remembering who your father is. Doesn't matter about all the other stuff. Doesn't matter what religion you are. Just remember who you are. That's it. It's just a small token of respect, and my mom began that tradition, and I do it because she did it. Not for any other reason. If she didn't do it, I probably wouldn't do it, but because that's her desire, it's a small price to pay and make her happy, and I know it would. So I do it. Simple as that. Make sense? Good. And I'm going to keep doing it. Maybe we can make a thing out of it. Who knows? Anything I say to get a family together, to bond, to have a moment with each other, is worth doing, because most of the time we're scattered all over the place. And if you're there, you're part of the family. That's important, is it not? Ain't that right news now? We're family. We've been together 20-something years. That's a long time to hang out with somebody. That would make us family. In my mind, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. Caucasian? I don't even know what breed you are, but you're family. So, here we are. So let's talk about Easter. Why is Easter a bad thing? Easter has been believed by many people to be a direct derivative of a pagan holiday that was centered around Ishtar, which is a pagan goddess. And I think that's a possibility, but it's closer to in origin and in nature to a West Germanic pagan goddess called Istore, which is close to Ishtar, but not the same thing. Istore is a Western Germanic spring goddess by way of Germanic month bearing her name. She is the namesake of the festival of Easter. In some languages, Historia is attested solely by Bede in his 8th century work, The Reckoning of Time, where Bede states that during Sturmnap, which is a German word or something, I don't know what that means, pagan Anglo-Saxons had held festivals in Historia's honor. And that sounds a lot like the tradition of Easter, which has been co-opted into the Christian religion because in and around that period of time is when Jesus died and resurrected. But it does not have anything to do with Jesus. That's why we don't follow it. Or I don't care what you do. The origin of Easter, let's see. Easter is the second biggest candy-eating holiday of the year for Americans. The most popular non-chocolate holiday-related candy in the United States is Marshmallow Peeps. It's the 5th most popular holiday for sending holiday-related cards, with 57 million of them exchanged annually in the U.S. Amazingly, Americans consume 16 billion jelly beans during the Easter holidays. Does that sound Christian to you? The origin of the holiday is the history of how and why Christianity changed the foundational 1st century AD beliefs and practices to something entirely different. The early church abandoned its annual observance of the Christian Passover, instituted by Jesus himself according to the Bible, and adopted a celebration of his resurrection known as Easter Sunday. And they adopted it, what's not being said here, is around the time that Constantine died. And he switched his group to a Christian fundamentalism, not because he was saved, but because Christians are easier to control than radicals are, because they follow rules. Briefly introduced of Easter Sunday, first began in the Palestine after the Roman Emperor Hadrian ruthlessly crushed a Jewish rebellion known as the Baccaraba. After his victory, Hadrian rebuilt the ruins of Jerusalem and expelled from it Jews and Jewish Christians. Hadrian's victory emboldened him to enforce policy prohibiting the practice of anything that resembled the Jewish religion, keeping the Christian Passover be one of those things, or the Sabbath day on Saturday. Eusebius, Church History 464, Nicene and post-Nicene Fathers. That's the footnote for that. You can find that in the book of Eusebius. The new leaders of the church changed the traditional date of the Christian Passover, Nisan 14, which would be April 14th, to Sunday in order to separate and distance themselves from Jews and the Jewish Christians. Soon, many Gentile Christian churches, including the church at Rome, adopted keeping Passover on a Sunday. That's not correct. the influence of the Jewish Christians diminished in the church, the power of the Gentile Christians increased as they gained control of the church. The Gentile Christians began to replace the biblical symbols and ceremonies of Passover with pagan symbols and myths, such as Ishtar and Estore. Passover became quote-unquote Easter, which derives from Estre or Estore, Estra or Ostara, sorry. As far as I'm going to read into that, you get the idea. Easter is not a good holiday. It's not good for anybody. So, what is Shabbat? Shabbat, S-H-A-B-A-T. It's Sabbath. That's what the Hebrew word for Sabbath, meaning the day of rest. That's what Shabbat is. I use that word a lot. You should be paying attention to it because God uses it a lot in the Bible. Yep, you've heard me say that word many reads. That's correct. Well, that means the Sabbath. And thank you for asking, because that's part of the reason I want to put out those definitions, because there are a lot of words I'll be using later on that nobody's ever heard before or didn't know what they meant when they heard it. So I'd like to clear that up and make sure everybody knows what's up. Passover, when the Hebrews were in captivity in Egypt, and Moses came to deliver them. And God sent Moses to the Pharaoh to have him release his people, and Pharaoh wouldn't do it. So God began to rain plagues down, one a day. Flies and locusts, and turning the water into blood, and killing the cattle with boils, and lice, and all the stuff. And on the last day, when Pharaoh had just given up entirely on any semblance of communicating with Moses and told him to leave, it wasn't getting his people back. God said, all right, I will kill the firstborn of every living thing if you don't let my people go. And stubbornly, Pharaoh said no. So God told Moses to go to his people and tell them all to get completely dressed, ready to go. Shoes on your feet, your loins girded, your clothes on your back, all your stuff packed, and make a meal complete. Do it fast. Do it with no leaven, no yeast to rise. Just do it quick as you can do it so that you have something to eat. Eat it in haste and be standing at the door ready to go, because at midnight, the angel of death is going to come through here and kill the firstborn of every living thing. Now, if you don't want him to stop at your house, take the blood from the lamb you killed for supper and paint your doorpost with it, so that the angel of death, when he comes by, knows not to go into that house. So that's what they all did. And sure enough, that night a fog came through, and every living thing that had a firstborn child, that firstborn died. Male, female, cattle, dogs, all of them. Firstborn of everything died, including the Pharaoh's son. That morning when he found his son dead, he relented and let Moses and his people go, and they were ready to go. And when they left, they took all the gold with them, just to get them out of there, to give them anything they wanted. Just take it, go. Don't want you around here no more. That was when God's strong arm delivered the Israelites out of the hand of Egypt. And it's always been that way ever since. And that is why we celebrate Passover, because in moments of pure trial, God is the only one who can deliver you. And sometimes he goes really far to do it, and it's terrifying. So it's worth taking a moment and remembering why we are good people, why we are the people of Christians, people of Christ, and what that means. So for 15, 20 minutes on one day a year to talk about it and read a little scripture and remember that, I think that's fair trade, because we are, in fact, free people still. And if you think that you didn't come from there, you'd be mistaken. The chances of you being related to somebody that's related to somebody in the 12 tribes is almost 100%. So somewhere down the line, there's some Jew in you, I promise. Anyway, that's my soapbox. I hope you enjoyed that little excerpt. That's as far as I'm going to go into it. I thought about reading the Bible verses, but we got to do that on Sunday and Monday anyway, so What you want to talk about? Happy Passover. Say a prayer. Do whatever it is you do. Any other questions? Or comments, or statements, or rationalities, or arguments? Invictus. You are my new short. That's okay. I'm good with that. I've told you before, you can use me any way you want to. I'm here. As long as you use me, baby. Just don't forget about me. That's all I'm asking. What did I do? Was it good? It's kind of an interesting study if you ever want to get into that and read about all the stuff that occurred on that day. It is interesting to read, but basically it's just a thing that we still do, and it's because it was asked of us to do. Y'all ain't even said nothing about me shaving. I shaved my beard off. Makes me look 10 years younger. Now I look 80. You know, I'm thinking about doing some shorts about a couple other things too, not just definitions, maybe some other things. I hadn't decided yet. Any ideas I'm open to, so if you guys got any ideas or anything you'd like to see, let me know and I'll make it happen. I am going to try to film a little this weekend, another show, but I'm going to do it with a camera this time instead of a phone, see if I can get a little better audio, because the last time was tragic, terrible. Looked good, sounded horrible. I've got to figure out some kind of way to do a live short and have good audio, and I don't know how to do that yet. Not with the equipment I have anyway. I don't know how to get good audio from a phone. Congratulations on what? Oh, being a new short? Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Occasionally, I say some funny shit. You should have heard me Wednesday. I was in rare form. Oh, the camouflage condom thing. Yeah. They work just like regular condoms. You just can't see me coming. I like being the opportunity of a joke. Or the punchline sometimes. I am an entertainer. I have no problem making a jackass of myself for your entertainment. That is what I do. No, you don't, do you, Sasquatch? I said that, but he probably would. I would. I don't even know where I got that joke from. Somewhere I heard it years and years ago. It was the deadpan delivery. There was nothing humorous about the delivery, which is hilarious. Yeah. That was on purpose. That's how I roll. Whole idea. I'm a dry wit. With a little dash of sarcasm. Oddly enough, most of the time people don't get my humor. Most people think I'm being serious when I'm not. Or if I'm being sincere, it comes off as corny. I just don't do normal emotions well, I guess. It's some old, like, Laugh Factory bit. Yeah. You need a laugh track. I need one of those little buttons that make people laugh. Ah. I've always found laugh tracks to be kind of terrifying because most of the people in them are dead now. Did you ever notice that? You ever watch Seinfeld? Every time they laugh, that whole studio audience is dead. They've been dead because they got that recording from the 50s. Bet you didn't know that? That'll put a spin on your, what's that show with the nerds? Can't think of it. Big Bang. That'll put a spin on your Big Bang Theory. I got one. I can send you some laugh tracks. Send them on. Send them my email. I'll get them. I hadn't tried to look up any. I'm sure I could find some, but if you got them, send them. I'll use them for something. I think that makes deadpan humor go over a little funnier if there's an ironic laugh track with it. I try to be funny, but I'm not a comedian, so I try not to set it up like joke punchline, Try to set it up like a normal circumstance. And most of the time it comes off and people think I'm being serious, but I'm not. It's funny if you think about it. Like I told you the joke that time about forceps. I don't know if you remember that joke or not. I was in a construction crew, and we were at a restaurant for lunch. And we're all covered from head to toe in tire dust. We were working at a tire factory, so we were black from head to toe. And the lady comes over, and she looks like a 1950s nurse. That's the kind of waitress. Buttoned up, white dress, white apron, white paper hat, and her little pad. And she says, "What will you have, hon?" You know how they are. Tall, drink of water, blonde hair, in a bun, under that little paper hat. The guy says, "I think I'll have soup." And the next guy says, "Soup sounds good. I think I'll have some too." Next guy says, "Yeah, I'll have what they're having." She says, "1 soup, 2 soup, 3 soups. What are you having, hon?" And I said, "Nurse, forceps." And everybody just turned and looked at me, and I'm laying there on the floor dying and laughing because to me that was the funniest shit I'd seen all day. And nobody got it. And it was just me. And I had to explain it. And if you have to explain it, it's not funny anymore. I'm not sure you got it now, but I'm laughing. So I'm not a comedian, but I play one on YouTube. That's right. Yeah, laughing to a joke they never heard. You stayed in the Holiday Inn Express? Why? Just felt like doing it? Or were you going somewhere? What was the purpose for your stay at the Holiday Inn? The place for many rendezvous, third-rate romances, and the like. So I can be an expert at everything? Okay. I must have missed something because that don't make any sense. It's an old commercial. Oh, okay. All right. Like the "we'll leave the light on for you" commercial. I got you. I'm playing it back in my head now. I see it. I've been playing piano all week trying to master a song that's very complicated. It's all flats. I've been thinking about just keying it to a regular key and then down tuning it. So it's still in a flat, but I'm playing regular keys. But that would be cheating, so I'm trying to learn it the right way. I was watching some old commercials the other night. I like old commercials. They get right to the point. Ain't like they are nowadays. Remember the Carl's Jr. commercials? You ever see those? Where they turn hamburgers into porn? Interesting. Good Lord, Jake. Was 1980 the last time you watched television? No, why? Because I remember "We'll Leave a Light On For You"? How about "Thanks for Your Support"? I'm Tom Bodette. We'll leave the light on for you. No, I just have a steel trap memory, and that's what I was thinking about at that particular moment. I just don't forget anything. ever. It's actually kind of maddening. You ever wonder why I am the way I am? It's because I've got my entire life playing in my head at all times. Here at Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you. Yeah. April is approaching. I found a channel with mid-'80s and '90s hip-hop. That's interesting. That's back when hip-hop was actually good. I actually liked rap and hip-hop for about 10 minutes when it first came out. And then it got all hard and, you know, crime-ridden and talking about killing cops and effing Whitey and all that. I'll keep the Humpty Dance and Ice Ice Baby and Run DMC, things like that. I always liked those guys. Dare I say it, even Will Smith. We're about to go, yay. Well, eat some matzo ball soup for me. You still with me, News Now? Or did you bail at the first sound of Passover? It's Friday. I'm chilling out. I've had a hard week. My car broke down last week. It's going to cost me $3,000 to fix, so I'm going to have to do it myself because there's no way I can afford that. Time and chain broke. So I'm back on the motorcycle. I think it's just us chickens. I think so too. It's all right. I didn't mean to do a whole lot tonight anyway. I just wanted to talk about Passover and then hang out with my buddies. I'm not trying to be all prolific tonight. I'm just chilling. I got a lot to do this weekend. Mechanic all night last night getting my bike running again because I needed transportation because my car broke down Thursday. And no sign of any trouble. It ran fine. I just went out to go to lunch, cranked it up, and it just didn't crank up. And when I finally did get it cranked up, it wouldn't go anywhere. Very slowly. That's a lot. Yep. It will be when I get done. I still got a show to do and another podcast. And a couple other things. Can't think of right now. Basically, I've worked like 90 hours this week. Very little sleep and a whole lot of trouble. Are you saying that's a lot to car? Yeah. Well, I've got one quote so far. I've got 3 guys looking at it. One guy said it would cost about $3,000. I don't know what the others are going to say yet. But either way, I'm more than likely going to have to do it myself, which means I'm going to have to learn how to do it. So a lot of YouTubing and a lot of reading before I get started. And then it'll probably cost me $400 or $500 because I got to buy the parts. But that is a lot better than $3,000. I didn't pay that much for the car. I'm not paying that much to get it fixed. So I'm just going to ride my motorcycle until I can get my car going again. But I got to tear the whole front end off because it's a timing chain. And I've never done that before, so I've got to learn how to do it without tearing it up worse. But that's a good thing about being me. I can learn how to do it. I'm pretty sure if you give me a week and a book, I can do brain surgery. You might twitch a little, but you'll get through it. Maybe 2 weeks. Everyone, don't forget to hit that like button. Share the love, says April. Thank you, dear. And if you have a heart, if you have a brain, if you have some fun, and then you're not insane, feed Jake.
Feed Jake, now I lay me down to sleep.
I've been a good boy, honest.
Lord, my soul to keep.
Pat me on the head and give me some kibbles and bits.
Before I wake,
Feed Jake.
my best friend, right through it all. Feed Jake. If I die before I wake, feed Jake.
Yeah, perfect tooth alignment, and it is a pain in the ass. What happened? I don't think the timing chain broke. I think it stretched, if that makes any sense. So I've got to tear all that down. There's a hydraulic thing I got to get out of the way. There's the front end and all the fan and all that's got to go out. The radiator's got to come out. All the front end of the engine's got to come off, and then I got to get down there. And then there's two guides, plastic guides that are in there, and then there's the timing chain, and then a hydraulic thing that I'm not sure about yet. I got to learn that part. And yes, it's got to go on exactly the way it comes off, because if it goes on even one tooth is off, it won't run. It won't be in time. So I got to figure that out. And I think there's a trick to it. You got to like tie it up before you get the case off, because if you don't, it'll move, something like that. I've seen videos before, but I'll get into it next week and figure it out. Just more mechanicking, that's all. You want to come up here and help? Hell no, I don't want to be any part of that pain in the ass. It's going to be a lot of work. Look around at the junkyards. Well, yeah. It's still going to be a lot of work. The only way to not do it is to replace the whole engine, and that would be just about as expensive as it would be to just pay somebody to fix it. So I'm stuck. All I can do is fix it myself. I'm pretty sure that's the only course of action I can take that won't break the bank. Anyway, it was a nice car while it ran. I got the best, worst luck in the world. C'est la vie. Do I want to fail at fixing a Mach PT Cruiser? Yeah. No. If it gives me too much trouble, I'll just buy another car. That's not out of the realm of possibility, I suppose. Anyway, I still own the Trailblazer, and it's been at the shop for over a year, and he still ain't fixed that damn thing. And all it is a fuse or something in the electronics. It runs great. It just don't crank up. Nothing happens when you turn the key. And he ain't figured out what's causing it, and I can't figure it out because I don't know anything about that kind of thing. It's a computer thing or something. Not a fuse, but something in the wiring. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get that back. I was thinking about just having them both towed back to the house and just mush them together and put some horses in front of them and drag them around or something. I got a Harley, though. That won't let me down. I've got hundreds of blooms on my orange. Is that a euphemism for something? Are we talking herpes or actual orange tree? That's cool if you got an orange tree blooming, because pretty soon you're going to have lots of oranges. I wouldn't mind having an orange tree, but we got the wrong kind of climate around here for that. But I miss being able to go out in the backyard and pick a handful of oranges. That's a regular occurrence in Florida. Nobody in Florida is suffering from vitamin C deficiency, put it that way. The air smells like citrus. It's everywhere. I do miss that part of Florida. They got some great oranges. And they don't look like the oranges. Did you know they paint oranges? Did you know that? Or dye them or something? They color them anyway. Here too. I hot this from a gentleman in China 10 years ago. You got the orange tree from a Chinese guy 10 years ago. Is that what you're saying? Did you go to China or did you order it from China? Is that what you're saying? Either way, why didn't you just get an orange tree from Georgia? Not unless you're in Lake Wales or Frostproof. Mm-hmm. Or Lake Land, which is where I resided. Now, they suffer from a whole different kind of disease there in Florida. They got redneckitis. Trailer trashitis. That's what I am. I'm trailer trash. I ain't straight out of Compton. I'm straight out the trailer. I ain't lived in a trailer in a long time. Since I left Florida. I said I wouldn't ever do it again. I haven't. Yep, I heard that. There's a lot of that in Florida. I kind of miss trailer trash, though. Some interesting people. Very interesting. I like trailer park girls. Sometimes they're a little easier, a little more pliable. I was on Amazon message board, and we were discussing cold weather trees. He offered a mandarin snow orange, good to minus 10°C, like 14 degrees. So I agreed. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm glad you got an orange tree, and you know, it's always something you can munch on, and it's always good for medicinal purposes as well. You can do a lot with oranges. You can even clean with them. You can use the oil from the peel to clean with and make a great solvent. And you can treat many kinds of things with vitamin C. And you can eat the peel for the high acidic content if you happen to have problems with your pH balance. There's a lot of things you can do. You can make teas. The stringy shit that's on top of the orange that you usually peel off because it's bitter, that's really good for you. You can make orange juice. I like freshly squoze orange juice. It's good for you. I like the pulp. Drink a little drink, chew a little chew. But have you ever had a kumquat? I know the name is gross, but they're delicious. I nursed it for almost a decade. I'll put it in the ground next year. It is its second summer outside. That's awesome. Nothing like an actual fresh orange. That's correct. And as I was saying earlier, did you know they paint them or dye them or something? They're not that color in real life. Most of the time, they're quite yellowish. Sometimes they're even greenish. But those really bright orange ones, they don't come like that off the trees. I always thought that was odd why people would do that, but they do it. When I see an orange and it looks like that, I'm suspicious of it. CJ is the mandarin eating king. These get almost red. I hear you. I don't care for mandarin oranges. That's the one with the little sections, right? That kind of looks like a tangerine but thinner. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. I ain't crazy about those. I like tangerines better than I like oranges, but I like orange juice better than I like tangerines, which is weird. But my absolute favorite is pink grapefruit with a lot of sugar on top. I love pink grapefruit. It's delicious. Yes, we did. Picked them right out the orange groves. I even did a little fruit picking when I was down there. I did that for a job. That is a filthy, horrid job. Because orange trees have big spikes on them. And you got to pick and go fast. You'd have holes all over your body with them things. It is back-breaking, nasty work. I do not envy anybody that picks oranges. But yeah, there's a few places we live. There'd be orange groves right out back behind the house. You go out there and just have your fill of them. That place in Frostproof, where that mansion was that we used to go look at, there was an orange grove back there. To be specific, it's a Satsuma mandarin blood orange or snow orange. Grandma's favorite, huh? I don't know about that. Maybe, but I like them. They're good for your body, and they taste delicious if you put enough sugar on them. I cut them in half and pour sugar all over the top and then use one of those spoons with the teeth on the end of it. Delicious. Maybe eat a little cottage cheese with that. But I prefer cottage cheese and peaches. That's even better. Get you a real Georgia peach and cut that up and put it in some cottage cheese. Man, that's good. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. And I'm not even a vegetarian, but I roll like that. I love good fruits and good vegetables. Many times we'd eat those, and we eat oranges all the time. Yep, by the 5-gallon bucket full. I've definitely eaten so many tangerines that I've thrown up before. And then at that certain time of the year, you go down to Plant City, Florida, and get your strawberries that are the size of your fist. Yeah, Florida's good for that. And all the crystal meth you can have. I would assume so. Yeah, they've been growing them there for years. They're probably all owned by Monsanto. There's a lot of wild oranges in Florida, too. Don't make no mistake about that. Down south of Florida, there's a bunch of sugar cane out there. And when we lived on 6th Street, we were right next to an orange grove, and we ate them all the time. And everywhere we went were orange groves and oranges all around us. It didn't matter. That's right. For non-Floridians, a green orange is called a lime, and a yellow one is a lemon. LOL. That's correct. Kind of. In that they both part of the citrus family, but they are clearly different fruit. Different kind of acid. And I prefer limes to lemons. And did you know that if you make a smoothie and you use kale, ginger root, and lime, and put about 4 limes in it, cut up, peel it, put it in there, Put you a bunch of kale and a bunch of lettuce, like that romaine lettuce, the long lettuce. Put some of that in there. Some celery, some ginger root, and some lime. It's like taking a shot of cocaine. That's what a pink grapefruit is, isn't it, Caucasian? A ruby grapefruit? There's people call it that. It's pink grapefruit. I think. There might be different kinds. I don't know. Anyway, I like the pink ones. I don't like the clear ones or the yellow ones. They're more bitter. I don't care for that. I like the sweeter fruit. And the pink grapefruit's got a quality to it that's unlike other grapefruits. I'm not exactly sure if it's sweeter. I don't think that's it. It's something else. But it's got a different taste. It might be sweeter. I mean, it might be just a different kind of acid or whatever. Either way, it tastes different than a regular grapefruit. And if you put enough sugar on it, you can almost get rid of that bitter taste. Now, what I've never done, like I said, down south towards the tip of Florida, there's a lot of sugar cane out there. There's a big industry of it. I've never had any real sugar cane before. I would like to try that one day. But there's groves of sugar cane out there. It sticks up everywhere. My kids say I'm like a junkie with red grapefruits. I'll sit there and eat them till they're gone. Yeah, one, it's hard to have just one, ain't it? Some things you get a little taste of it and you can't stop eating it. It's just good. I'm like that with certain things. Just can't stop eating it till there ain't no more. Taco salad is one of them. I love that taste. If I had $10, I'd go get one right now. Taco salad. That's some good shit. Whoever thought that up was thinking. And it's the same. The funny thing about Mexican food is it's all made out of the same thing. It's just constituted in different ways, but it's the same 5 ingredients in everything. I wonder if sugarcane will grow in aquaponics. I don't know, but you need a lot of humidity. I do know that. I'm a moron. No, you're not. I know that sugarcane requires almost 100% humidity. That's why it grows best in the tip of Florida and down in South America and shit like that. Close to the equator. I don't think it'll grow in Georgia. It might, but I don't think so. There's some stuff that won't grow up above Florida. That's why they grow it in like Brazil and places like that. We are at a Mexican restaurant now. Get you a taco salad and tell me it ain't the best thing you ever ate. Ask them for extra meat and extra sour cream. Suck it down. That's good stuff if you've never had one. I've grown sugarcane before, but not in a fish pool. Okay, well, then maybe it will grow there. I don't know. I'm not a, whatever you call those guys that grow things. Botanist. I'm not a botanist. I don't know anything. I'm just talking out of my ass, man. Come on. I know it's not smart to grow tobacco in Georgia. Like the kind they make cigars out of. That's why they grow it in Cuba, because it's close to the equator. Horticulture. I don't think that's how you spell that. Or maybe it is. Ew. What are you oohing? Horticulture? I think botany is the word I was looking for, but I'll go with horticulture. Wow, that's horrible. That's what she said. Yep. The old horticulture. That's where you grow prostitutes in the desert. Horrific. How do you come up with these funny jokes and things you say out of the blue? Who are you talking to? If you're talking to me, it comes natural. I don't come up with it. It just happens. If you're talking to him, you'd have to ask him. I don't know. I steal them from comedians, April. Now there's some deadpan humor for you right there. I steal them from comedians, April. Duh. What do you think you're dealing with? I'm not funny. Yeah, that's good. We need to get back together and do another podcast, Sasquatch. About that time. We need to do like one a month. About the fish poo Squatch said when he was talking, I think. Okay, well, maybe he meant poo, but I thought he meant pool. But yeah, fish poo would be a good fertilizer, so that makes sense. We use chicken shit all the time to grow things. Think about it. I've seen every 80s movie ever. That's why it's funny. Yeah, a lot of my jokes come from movies, and a lot of them come from observation. And a lot of them comes from just plays on words, like horrific. Sometimes I'll do that. He did that one, but, you know. It comes from having a good vocabulary, I think. You can see the crossover of different things that mean things. Like a dumb example would be, but a good way to illustrate it would be you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway. Who comes up with those names? But you get my point. But that's how we come up with it. We're just naturally funny. And me, I just start talking and hope something comes out that sounds good. My jokes aren't so great. My timing is excellent, so I play well off others. Right. And it's good to have someone to banter off of. That makes it better, makes it easier. It's hard to sit and talk by yourself to a camera and say things that are interesting or funny because there's no feedback. You have to kind of imagine the feedback or wait for somebody to say something that you can react to. But you got to fill up the holes. If nobody's talking, you got to make noise with the hole in your face until somebody says something that you can react to. Little behind the scenes baseball. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Dun, ba, ba, ba. It's not so cool once you know the trick, is it? It's like magic. It's only fun if you don't know how it's done. Once you know the trick, it's not fun anymore. And it's not magic either. There's a lot of tricks to entertainment, though. Most of it has to do with other people being involved. And playing well off of others, as Caucasian just suggested, is the best way. Yes, I'm easy. I wouldn't have admitted that, but okay. But if you've got two people like me and Sasquatch who know each other well, understand how each other thinks, we can carry on a conversation and have three different things going on. We could be talking to you, talking to each other, and having a conversation in private, and nobody catches on. All at the same time. LOL. You see? Put foot in mouth, chew vigorously. I know you're hungry, but both feet? Come on. When IR comes to being important, I'll send my number. Huh? Oh, when it comes to being ignorant, I'll send my number. I don't know what are you talking about? I missed one. Nope, I still don't get it. I missed it. You're not easy, April. You're just easy to entertain. That's a good thing. It's a good quality. You don't want to be like me, bitter and crotchety. It's hard to make me laugh. She's easy. I'll send my number. Got it. Okay. I don't catch them all. Sometimes I overthink things and get lost. Speaking of getting lost, would you guys do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online and my new videos drop. Smash that like button. Smash it hard. Smash it vigorously, but only smash it once. It's free. It's effortless, and it really does help the channel with the algorithm, so please do. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their problems, not part of their solutions, or vice versa. Share this video with somebody you love. Either way, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform me, drink my Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking critically, that's what I want. And hey, if you dig what I'm doing and you can see the value in what I'm trying to create, won't you consider supporting the channel by going to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too, because God notices these things. With that, I will finish out this video by general malaise and making an ass of myself. If April and I do a podcast, what should we call it? Welcome to the world with Dingle and Dewberry. LOL. So hey, where has Cheese Bear been, Sasquatch? I told you she was mad at me for something and nobody will tell me why. So, she's out. Fabulous peacock. Peacocks. Hey, good one, Jake. Yeah. I'm good for that sort of thing. Welcome to Wheeze and Kneesies. One foot in, all ass out. Tea time with Gary and Terry. Come on, it's easy. Okay, then. He's not at liberty to discuss her absence, but it's an excellent reason, and it's not about being mad. Okay. That sounds like us all the way. I know. Well, it sure felt like she was mad at me. She ignored me every time I spoke to her 3 podcasts in a row. And she started out being very nice to me, so it seemed like it. Either way, I hope she's all right and send our love. And that's the way it goes. My phone is making all kinds of weird noises. So anyway, when you want to get together and do another podcast there, Sasquatch, I think it's worth it. People seem to like it. Me too. I haven't seen her recently either. Just let her know we send our love and prayers. Okay? Okay. We do. Well, the last time I spoke to her, that she spoke back to me, I had went on to somebody else's podcast, somebody that was a member of Sasquatch's channel I was trying to support. And I was listening, I was at work listening, and the guy was talking about donations, taking donations and needing to and having troubles and things like that. And I tried to reassure him. I said, I take donations and I'm proud of it. There's no harm in that. If you're providing a service, there's nothing wrong with asking for donations. And then she piped up and said, I've never understood that. And I said, what's that? She said, wallet watching. Like I was trying to dun people out of money. It's not wallet watching. That's not what's going on here. If you want to donate, it's because you believe in what I'm doing. I never ask you to donate any specific amount of money. It's just, I have a need. If you can fill it, fill it. If you can't, you don't have to. It's free. But I don't think that came across that way in that conversation. And that's the last time she spoke to me directly. So I assumed that I offended her somehow. And then I kept trying to ask, what's the problem? Can we talk about it? Yeah, I like having you around. I don't want you to get mad at me because you don't understand something I do. Whatever. I was trying to reassure the other guy who was having troubles in his life and needed some money. And I was trying to make him feel good about asking for it. But it didn't come out that way, I guess. But that's why I assumed she was angry at me. Because that's the last thing she said to me was, I don't agree with wallet watching. Well, it's not wallet watching. I don't require you to pay for this. I've been working my ass off for 3 years for free. The money I get comes from people that love what I do. Simple as that. And there's no other alternative. No other ulterior. I'm not trying to con anybody. Well, I have a show planned tomorrow. I got to do a show, so can't do it tomorrow. No wallet watching is when a viewer counts your donations to the streamer. What? Be more specific. I don't know what you mean. When a viewer counts you donations to the streamer. And maybe I misunderstood the conversation. I don't know what that means, but I assumed that she thought that I was trying to make people pay to watch my show. But that's not it. It's if you want to support me, please do. But the show is free whether you do or not. But I could use the cash if you got it. That's the idea. But what the other guy was doing, he was having trouble in his life. Like he was like losing his house or something. I don't remember now. But he wanted to ask for donations on his podcast, but he didn't know he didn't know if that would make him, bad or not. And I was trying to reassure him that it's okay to ask your viewers for donations. It's not okay to dun them for it or to require it of them or anything like that, or even to ask for a specific dollar amount. But it's okay to let it be known that you need something. That's what I was trying to get across to that guy. But apparently, wires got crossed and either she or I misunderstood. But that's what I assumed the problem came from. I don't know for sure because it just happened. She was there every day, every podcast, and then she wasn't. And then I would try to talk to her and she wouldn't respond. So I don't know what the deal is. When someone is in chat, when someone in chat is pointing out how much a stream or channel has made, oh, I see, to indicate that the streamer is making money. I got you. I understand now. So I took that wrong. No, I would never discuss any amount of money that came in. I might say thank you for the support, but that's as far as I would go into it. It's nobody's business who donates what. And now that you mention it, I have seen where people will put the dollar amount like so-and-so for $2, and then read a super chat or something like that. So I think I understand that. If you need cash, Squatch and I will dance naked. That will bring in the bucks. Yeah, but those antlers might be painful. And I would pay money to see you dance naked. Anyone other than the moderator, correct? When they pay us to leave. What do you mean, anyone other than the moderator? No, anybody that donates money to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's private matter. If they want to talk about it, it's fine, but I would never bring it up because it's not about the amount. It's about the support, And I have seen other people do shows, and when people donate money, they'll mention it. And to me, that kind of makes other people feel bad if they don't give the same amount. It's a little bit disingenuous. It's a little bit conniving, so I don't want to do it that way. I'm guessing. But, no. I don't know what being a moderator has to do with it. Oh, nobody else should say anything about donations other than the moderator. Well, the moderator could say something about it because that's the moderator's job, is to remind the chat and keep up to date with the things that the host is talking about, whatever. So you can say it, and I guess it's okay to discuss it, but again, I wouldn't get into dollar amounts, even if you were discussing it, because it's really nobody's business. Say you gave $100 and the other guy only gave $2. Well, that might make him feel bad for not having more money. But I don't want his money if he ain't got none. You know what I'm saying? Only if you got it. If it's money that you would go blow otherwise, put it towards the channel. We can do something good with it. That's all I'm saying. But I think pointing out the amount or the person who donated it could cause problems on one side or the other, and it's just not worth doing it that way. I think it's much better to be anonymous. Like thanking the person for being polite. Yeah, you could do that. You could thank them for the donation. That's correct. But you don't have to bring up the amount to do so. And super chats include the amount donated. Well, that might be a different thing. I haven't got that far yet. I don't have super chats. I hope one day I can get them because that'd make it a lot easier, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't think you can not list the amount in a super chat. I don't know. I've never used them before. And every little bit helps. I've seen shows where they have super chats. Right. Every little bit does help. If it's 50 cents, it helps. That's why I say it that way. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win, And you can write it off at the end of the year on your taxes, so you can get it back. That's a good thing. Because a donation is a donation. And this is technically a church. Sorta. It's definitely fellowshipping. But if we get to the point where I can take super chats, then I'll be able to see how that whole thing works. I don't really know. I've seen it on other channels, but I don't know how to set it up and all that stuff, or if there's any options where you can leave out details or whatever. I don't know yet. I think I have to have something like 1,000 subscribers before I can get super chats. I just want to get to a part where I can put a store on my channel so I can sell t-shirts and stuff the proper way. That's the goal I'm working towards now. Because the way I'm doing it right now is a little complicated. It'd be much easier to have a store set up and a checkout, secure checkout, linked right to my PayPal. That'd be much better. I think it's 1,000. I'm not sure. And I've probably had 1,000, but I've been teetering at 125 for quite almost a year now. It goes up and then it goes down. It goes up and it goes back down. So I think that YouTube is keeping me down. I do like PayPal being private. I do like that part of it. And I also like the fact that YouTube don't take 30% of it. I like that too. That's a whole lot better. That's why I stopped really promoting the Teespring site. I've got a t-shirt store called Teespring. I've got two of them actually. One's Stream Elements and one's Teespring, but they both take like 30% and I hardly make anything on it, so there's no point in doing it. But they do all the shipping and all the printing and all that, so, you know, if somebody really wants a shirt, they can get one, but it ain't really going to benefit me at all. But it's there. I just don't promote it. But I also work at a t-shirt shop, so if you can order it directly from me, then I can send it directly to the orderer, and then I get all the profit. So that's the good thing. But it's more complicated. But when I get to a place where I can put a store on my channel, then it'll be easier because there'll be a checkout that goes straight to my PayPal, and that'll be that. And it's all covered in the same transaction, as opposed to having to email me your sizes and all that stuff. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. This thing will take off, and if I make friends with this guy with the radio station, it might take off faster than I anticipate, because I might be able to start doing stuff on the radio, which will bring people to the show. The reason we're not any bigger than we are now is because the only people that know about the show are the people that know about the show. I don't have a way to get the word out. And YouTube used to promote the shows and put them on lists, and they don't do that for conservatives anymore. So now, because I'm a conservative Christian channel, my live streams don't get promoted. So nobody knows that I'm here. If they did know, we'd be very popular. I'm every bit as good as any other Christian channel. The only difference is they have a visual footprint and I don't. So getting the word out is actually the most important thing to do from the next year. Now that I have a library of almost the whole Bible that you can go back and view through, there's actually content that people can watch. So now we got to focus on getting it out there. I'm going to start going to like Spotify and Rockfin and all those other places over the next couple years. See if I can't get more platforms involved. I just hadn't figured out a good way to do that yet. But it's all about being seen and heard. And if we could get the word out on a big channel, if I could make friends with somebody that had a big channel and maybe do a couple of spots like I do on Caucasian's channel. And by the way, that helped when I went and did your show that night. That does help this channel. And I assume you coming and doing mine will help yours in turn. But it's small increments, you know. In due time, they will come. I believe that. I do. I believe that the content is what's important to focus on. And I believe that eventually people will find their way to it. That's when it'll get interesting. We're not doing terrible. We're just slow, you know. I'm averaging about 30, 35 views a show now. And it don't all come on the night. During the week, people watch, you know. And then whatever. So the views are getting there, you know. I'm way up in view numbers. People watch the whole show, so that's a good thing. I'm just low in the amount of people who watch. So I got to get that number up. And I'm still learning how to do all that too, so. I don't know. There's exceptions to the monetization thing. Yes, I do know that. I'm subscribed to the Beastin' Bunch. They have over 1 million subs. Great family. Check it out. Well, while you're there, how about promote this channel and try to bring some of those people over here? You know how to use a hashtag UntetheredLive in somebody's chat? That'll give them a link right to this channel. In fact, anytime anybody in this chat is on another podcast and you think that we might have something in common, just leave a link. Say, hey, come check these folks out. It's always a good thing. And the more Christian channels we can hit up, the better, because those are the people that are going to want to hear what we got to say. They are adorable and they believe in God. I'll check them out. I advise some panel appearances, but it's important to vet the host. You mean you think I should go on some other shows? Well, yeah, but I don't know how to get that set up. You seem to be good at that. Why don't you help me get on some other shows? And we can help each other out. You seem to be good at lining up hosts and guests and shit like that. I don't know how to do all that stuff. You got a network going on. And I trust you, so do your thing, man. Maybe we can all do something good. This time next year, it will be NBC, ABC, CBS, and CNN, and the Jake Channel. That's right. I am growing, I know it. And I'm a good host. I'm not terrible at this job, I don't think. Somebody would have said something by now if I was. And the more people I have, the more energy I have. And the more, I mean, you've seen it. When there's a lot of people in the chat, I'm on fire. Because I've got something to respond to. Hey, whatever. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I just thought you might like to. I don't care. I'm going to grow one way or the other. Do your thing, man. There's no expectations here. ATL has invited me, but I'm not in chat when he's live. Well, I could be if he wanted me to be. I just need somebody to tell me when I'm supposed to be there. I'd be glad to do it, but he didn't mention anything to me. He's been here a couple times. He didn't say anything then. I'm not going to ask him, not live, because I don't know the guy. But if he wants to talk to me, I'm available. I'll come on his show just like I come on yours. I'm certainly not opposed to it. I get the same notification when YouTube sends it. Make sure I'm subbed, I guess. I thought I was. I thought I went subbed when he came on this channel. I'll go check it out. I don't recall getting any any notifications from him, though. But just being in the chat, that doesn't really help a whole lot. You know, if he wants me to come on the show, he needs to tell me he wants me to come on the show. He could send me an email, or he could drop by and ask me to come, or whatever. Or if I happen to go be in his chat, he can ask me there. Yeah, you got to be subbed to get notifications. Yeah, I know that much. I just thought I was subbed. I guess I'm not. I'd have been an oversight. Anyway, it's coming together. We'll figure it out. And, damn, it's already 10 o'clock. I just realized that. 10:05, top of the hour. All right, boys and girls. I got to get up early in the morning and load some equipment up because I got a show tomorrow night. I love you guys. Thank y'all for all the great insight and information and the support and the friendship and all of it. Thank you. It was a good meeting we had tonight. I learned a lot. I got a direction now. So let's just keep it up and make it happen. Spread the good news. That's what we got to do. I love you guys with all my heart. I want you to do me a favor. When you go out into the world tomorrow, take a little love with you. Show somebody some kindness. Watch it blossom into something real. Watch it change your life from the inside out. I promise you it will. Take care of yourselves and each other. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Happy Passover or Easter, but don't celebrate Easter. It's bad for you. And may God's blessing be on you and your families. And have a good night. Thanks for watching.